Interesting. Oops, wrong screen. Whoopsie daisies. Ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than Skyhigh versus Light, a TBT for set number 4. That's right, we get to watch Skyhigh's TBT against Light, who's not exactly a TBT specialist, but he's okay. He's okay at TBT. Although earlier this season he did suffer a very disappointing loss against Flash, where like Flash was, I think it was against Flash, I'm pretty sure, but Flash went like mass vultures, and he was like going 1 port 1 fact or something, and his wraiths were doing a ton of damage. And then Flash, it was on Jade, right? So Flash tries to do a vulture run by, and then Light sees it coming, so he does this epic wall off at the bottom of his ramp. But then he assumes that the vulture harass is over, so he cancels all the buildings and the wall off, and then Flash actually runs in again and kills both of his siege tanks with just like mass vultures, and that was quite a sad loss for Light. But I mean, it's against Flash, so you know, what are you gonna do? And looks like I am correct. It was in fact against Flash. Oh yeah, that was after his proxy racks as well. Yeah. So, let me see if I can grab some stats for you guys. I mean, well, actually no, let me just have a look. Okay, so it looks like Light is 5 and 7 overall this season. In TBT, it looks like he's 1 and 2, although 2 of his losses were against Flash and Baby, who are both extremely good TBTers. This is nothing to be too ashamed about. Meanwhile, Skyhigh, I remember actually, isn't he the one who played that epic TBT against Fantasy where he was like ridiculously far ahead, and then he decided to be stupid and lose? And like then he at one point there was like the burning command center, and he had like 4 Goliaths there, and he didn't kill it. I think that was the game. That's a highly recommended game, by the way. Yeah, it looks like that was the one. You guys should all go watch that game. Another interesting thing to note, by the way, is so far this is Skyhigh's 3rd game this season, and all 3 of his games have been TBTs. And he is of course a TBT specialist, so either he's getting really lucky or the CJ coach is like really good at predicting matchups, because he's used his TBT guy perfectly so far. He's 3 for 3, man. He's 3 for 3. Good job, CJ guy. Good job. See, I even have a CJ shirt. I can wear that with pride, because the coach is such a good TBT predictor. I don't even know. Anyway, that was really creepy. Oh, was that supposed to be effort? That was like a really creepy version of effort, but I am still glad that effort's hair is back to some semblance of normality. Anyway, I missed the initial position thing, but looking at the overlay, it seems that Skyhigh is top right as yellow, and Light is bottom left as red, and I believe they just showed the overall head-to-head stats, which are 1-0 in favor of Skyhigh. Single Heart Pro League. Is that Konadora again? Because I know the other day I saw like the Heart Team Liquid sign. Apparently that was Konadora. I think that's Konadora. He's from Singapore, is he? I'm like so unsure of myself now. I'm about to say something really stupid, so maybe I should just stop. Maybe I already said it. Oh wells. So it looks like we have a barracks bolt at the very top right of Light's base here. Of course that would just make it faster when he floats it out to go scouting. No other real reason. He just built his depot by his command center. Whereas Skyhigh has actually gone for a wall in here between his main and his natural. Now wall-ins oftentimes are, I mean, you don't see them that much in TBT just because they're not as useful, and they're a little bit more of a vulnerability. You know, you're not like, there's no melee units to defend against or anything like that. And later on, if your opponent goes for like an aggressive early attack, you can lose the depots there. But in this case, I think it's actually much less of a liability compared to other maps. I mean, it looks like you can just do it with 1 depot, and it's all flat ground anyway, so it's not a big deal. So we have a factory in the main base of Light. I have to keep looking at the overlay to see, to like double check who's who. Anyway, looks like, ooh, nice interception by Skyhigh's Marine. Gonna see that SCV. Unfortunately, as we saw last game, SCVs have, you know, approaching infinity HP. So that Marine's actually not going to kill that guy, but the wall-in looks like it will help in this situation. Presumably that is SCV tight. Is that going to be a starport? Indeed it is. It's going to be a starport hidden on the very left side of Skyhigh's base. Now what I don't understand is why he would put that there and not like at the very... Well... See, here's my issue with that positioning is if Light somehow manages to trick an SCV in through the back door using those two mineral patches, he'll actually see that immediately because it's like right there. But I think that's why Skyhigh was being very active with his Marine and like trying to deflect that kind of thing. And he's a Vulture out now. And it looks like it's just going to be one port from him. No two-port Wraith silliness. He's not Lita. And ooh, look at this. He's actually trying to sneak a Vulture in through the back door of Light, but Light's own Vulture does see this coming. Unfortunately for him, though, there's an SCV there to repair, but it looks like a second Vulture does come out, so he will be able to take down this first Vulture of Skyhigh's and get the SCV as well. Is that SCV going to kill? Okay, well, I was going to say, if that SCV kills the Vulture, that would be super heroic. And now the wall-in becomes a little bit clearer. This is actually, wait a minute, is this actually the same build that he did against Flash? Or, sorry, wait, no, sorry, I'm getting the players mixed up. No, Skyhigh's doing the build that Light did against Flash and failed horribly with, it seems like. Yeah, because he's got the machine shop already. So I got those backwards. Looks like Light has just gone for a fast expansion off one factory. And looks like the first Wraith is coming in here. It's actually going to see Cloaked Wraiths from Light as well, although obviously slightly slower since Light did get the faster expansion. I mean, I think Skyhigh is actually a little bit behind now. I mean, he's just built his command center in his main base. Going to take, I mean, obviously it's slower than Light's command center. It's going to take a little bit of extra time also to float down to the expansion. And I don't really see a good way for Skyhigh to punish Light's build. I mean, he only went one port Wraith. Even if Light's a little bit behind on the Wraith count, he will have Cloak, whereas Skyhigh won't. So I think Skyhigh is actually not in a very good position at this point in the game. Just a bit of a slight build order disadvantage here. Perhaps a major build order disadvantage. I don't want to say anything too crazy. Looks like both players getting their academies. And, well, at least he's going to be able to kill the barracks. I don't know why that Wraith is kind of not killing it. Oh, no. He's going to lose his first Wraith, though. The Cloaked Wraith of Light does come in and finish that guy off. Oh, man. Skyhigh getting Cloak of his own, but not in time to save that poor Wraith buddy. Looks like his expansion is up, but Light has been mining for a decent while now. So that is not so good. It's not good at all. Looks like Light is going to rebuild his barracks, getting an armory, and just going into the standard mass factory. Now, I wonder if he's going to continue on Cloaked Wraiths, or if he's just going to make like 3 and then switch to dropships. And whose scan was that? Ooh, looks like that was actually Light's scan. Is he? Yes, he does get the Wraith. There's a second Cloaked Wraith though running around. And Skyhigh, despite being the TVT specialist, is in a little bit of trouble here. Light, I mean, if Light can take this game, then that'll be it. Stars will have beaten CJ 3-1, which I'm not sure if anyone would have predicted going into this. Well, maybe some Stars fans, but you know. Actually, I wonder how many actual like Stars fans there are on Team Liquid. I can't imagine that there's that many. I don't know. There's like a lot of Soul Key fans and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, looks like Light's just doing some nice harassment with these raids. Actually, just getting ready. He's just poking ahead here. And looks like he's just going to siege up outside the natural. Now, he actually has 2 options here. He can just keep this contain outside the natural, or he can actually go and siege down Skyhigh's back door And looks like Skyhigh just going to go and try and break it with a bunch of SCVs. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh my god, his tanks are taking so much damage, but it looks like he might break through the ground forces, although the Wraiths are still going to do a lot of damage. Looks like, oh no, looks like all the ground units of both players have been taken down, but Light still has a bunch of Wraiths here. And to finish all the barracks, and of course Skyhigh did also lose a lot of SCVs. Light is up to 58 supply against 34 of Skyhigh, a huge advantage for him. CJ is looking in a lot of trouble here. And I don't know, I mean, the rankings this season are so close, I don't know, I don't think this will... I think that even if they lose this match, they'll still keep their playoff position for now, but man, crazy. Could you guys imagine if CJ didn't make the playoffs? Oh, that would just blow everybody's minds. And whoa, looks like we have a Valkyrie out from Light. He's gonna be super fancy here. He killed all the Wraiths already. I don't see the point of that Valkyrie. Maybe just being cute. And oh no, Skyhigh even wasting a scan there. Doesn't get any shots off. Looks like now he's got a good scan off, but he doesn't even have Goliath range, so it's like difficult for him to chase these Wraiths down. And Light just rallying more units in. He's got going up to 5 factories. I think Skyhigh's still on 2. That Valkyrie is really kind of pointless, I think, but you know, whatever, man. It's a Valkyrie. It's cool. It's good stuff. So it looks like you know, he's given up his contain like right outside the natural. He's just gonna siege up a little bit further back. So Skyhigh can still get out of his base. He can take the path down the right side. But it looks like the Wraiths are gonna come back in here, and he's actually looks like he wasn't aware. He lost I think a random Goliath there. And oh man, the Wraith's gonna come back in here, do some damage while the Goliaths are away from home. Oh, poor Skyhigh. Poor Skyhigh. This should have been his game, honestly. And if he won this game, CJ would have been in a really nice position because they have a much deeper lineup than Stars. I mean, Stars. If Light lost this game, it would have gone to Game 5 where Stars has already used Zero, Sulky, Light, and Light, who are like their top 3 players at the moment, I'd say. Do they have any other really good players? I don't think so. I mean, they have a couple of other decent players, but no one really top tier. So it would have been very difficult for them, I think, to win a Game 5 if it went to that. So I think it's really nice for them that Light is actually finishing this off. Yeah, people are still saying they have Free. I mean, Free's gotten some impressive wins this season, but I still wouldn't put him up to where he was in the era of the 6 Dragons. He's still not particularly good anymore, unfortunately. I like the guy, he's nice. He seems like a cool guy, but it's not very good. So Light's now poking in the back, and I mean it's irrelevant anyway because Light's almost guaranteed to win this game. Unless Skyhigh can pull off a fantasy level comeback, as of course Fantasy did to him in that crazy game. Unless he can do that, he's pretty dead. So looks like Light. Wow, looks like Skyhigh actually going to take a risk and just take the 9 o'clock. Actually, before Light even takes taking the 3 o'clock before Light even takes the 9 o'clock. But man, he's taking so much damage here from these high ground tanks. Like, he's not being very cost efficient here. And looks like Light's SCV might actually kill that SCV and deny this. Oh no, and some Vultures going into the main even. Skyhigh is completely dead, but he's not going to leave the game for a while. I mean, it's a TVT, so it's hard to kill him off, and it's a deciding game basically. So he's not going to GG for a while. But it's impossible for him to win now. Looks like his SCV even gets denied. There's some spider mines there, and yeah, Light's gonna send in some Vultures to make sure this command center does not finish. Oh, looks like not paying attention to the front though. Gonna lose his few air units there. Bit of a blunder, but forcing a cancel on the 3rd base. His own 3rd base going up just fine. Looks like Skyhigh actually is going to rebuild that at the front, but here we go. Here's the surrounds. Tanks and Goliaths in the front. Vultures laying mines in the back. And it looks like... Oh, wait, no, there's more siege tanks in the back. They're going to lay some mines. No, none of the mines do go off. But now the contain is tight. Now there's no way for Skyhigh to leave his base ground-wise. I don't even know if he's got any dropships so far. So he's just gonna have to chill. I mean, even if he floats that command center out, what's he gonna do? He can't transfer SCVs. He's gonna have to start making some dropships. I guess he can take his back mineral only, but that's not that useful in TVT because you really need gas and not minerals. Looks like he's just floating out his starport. He's gonna use that from some scouting. Wait, why is he just floating that? He needs dropships. I don't understand how he thinks he's gonna break this without dropships or do anything without dropships. Is he just gonna break down his back door? Oh my, he might actually break down his own back door so he can leave the other way. I think that's what he's doing. Is he's sending his army down there, and Light is actually gonna get a little bit lucky and see this with this dropship. And looks like these vultures aren't really going to do that much. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that he's continuing to do this dropship harass. Because, I mean, even though, sure, he's going to get a few SCV kills, but at this point I feel like the priority should be on keeping the contain and being careful about dropship counterattacks and whatnot. Because when you're containing a player, like, their army is in their base. That's the point of a contain, is you keep their army in their base, right? So why are you going and doing fancy drops when their army is just like right there? You know, drops are most effective when the main army is away from the base, and then you go in and he's like, oh shit, I got no defense, you know? And then you can do a lot of damage. But in this case, I feel like it's a little bit counterproductive to be, you know, dropping so much. Although it looks like, yeah, he's just gonna make sure Skyhigh can't go out that way. It's funny, like, you know, I remember in a ladder game I played, I was playing like a PvZ and I got hardcore lurker contained, and then the Zerg just does like a doom drop, but my army is standing right there because I'm contained. So I just like kill everything and then I leave my base and then it's like GG. It just doesn't really make any sense. But anyway. Looks like we have a bunch of Wraiths actually being masked up by Light now, and here comes the big attack. Gonna pull some SCVs now. Oh man, such a beautiful tank arc. Oh, perfectly positioned. And look, why is Skyhigh doesn't even unsiege all of his tanks? He's got like half his tanks sieged up in the back. Oh god, he's getting slaughtered here. He's gonna be completely massacred. Oh my god, losing everything. He's down to 40 supply against 130. Oh, wow, that was terrible. GG! And Light finishes off the series. Woongjin Stars takes down CJ Entus 3-1 here. Wow. That was unexpected. Alright, so, GG Stars and CJ, I don't know what's happened to them. But, I mean, you know, it was their turn, you know, because Khan had their losing streak, SKT has kind of just finished their losing streak, so maybe now it's time for CJ to lose a few matches that maybe they shouldn't. And this makes things very interesting. I mean, the bottom four who are not in the playoffs have like really, really close scores. Let me actually see what the scores are, the rankings are before today's match. Or I guess maybe I can just see this spoilage version now. Anyway, it looks like, yeah, so Stars was 5 and 7, so they